Superman is often credited as being the first superhero in comic books. He was created by Jerry Siegel and Joel Shuster. They were kids when they made him.
They were children.
Yeah,
Great
Superman
minds.
made his first appearance way back in 1937 in Action Comics #1. Since that time, he's become one of the most iconic superheroes of all time. Also, almost since right after he first appeared, others have tried to duplicate the success of the Man of Steel, biting his style.
They sure are. Only one has been successful.
Yeah. Today, there are many characters throughout comics that possess similar powers, origin, and a cape like Supes. In this episode, we're going to look at top 10 Superman knockoffs.
Let's go! Number 10, Supreme.
Alan Moore wrote him for a while.
We just did a whole episode on some of Alan Moore's creations.
That's
Check
right.
it out if you haven't watched it yet.
Yep.
Supreme was created by Rob Liefeld, who also copied Deathstroke to make Deadpool. He copied Superman to make Supreme.
Oh.
Supreme first appeared in 1992 for Image Comics. That's one of the things that Rob Liefeld created. Him and a whole bunch of other artists created Image Comics.
Yep.
He has similar powers to Superman. Super strength, super speed, freeze breath, heat vision, X-ray vision, and he has invulnerability.
And if he puts on glasses, he's unrecognizable.
And you would never know who he was.
Never know who he is.
Supreme is actually a homage to the Golden Age Superman.
Yes.
Both are portrayed as champions of truth, justice, and the American way. Supreme gained his powers by being exposed to radioactive material called supremium.
Oh.
When Alan Moore, who we just mentioned, took over for Liefeld, he added Suprema, which is a homage to Supergirl,
Yep.
and Radar, which is a homage to Crypto, Superman's dog.
That's right.
He just grew the mythos. I believe if we really look deep and down, Alan Moore is a better writer than Rob Liefeld.
Definitely. Alan Moore loves that golden age of comics.
Who doesn't?
And there's actually an issue of Supreme that I have. I don't have much of them. I have this one, though, that he wrote, where he encounters someone called the King.
Okay.
And it's a spirit that looks like Jack Kirby.
Oh, that's
He's got a
interesting.
cigar and everything.
Very
He's able to rewrite reality.
All right.
Yeah, it's really cool. Sure.
Number 9.
Omniman. Also from Image Comics and part of the Invincible universe. Oh, that's such a great series. Omniman is an alien from a distant planet, Vitrum, who adopts a human identity, that of Norman Grayson. The character is created by Robert Kirkman, Walking Dead fame.
There you go.
And Omniman has super strength, super speed, and can fly.
That's number 9. Number 8. Hyperion, leader of the Marvel team, the Squadron Supreme, or the Squadron Sinister, depending on which one you look at. It is a complete knockoff of the Justice League of America.
Yes.
Hyperion is a copy of Superman in almost every way. He is an alien who crash landed on Earth. He is indestructible. He has super strength, he has superpower, he has heat vision, and he can fly. Hyperion is an example of what could happen if Superman decided to rule the world.
He was recently seen in a limited series from Marvel called Heroes Reborn.
Great series. It's about how they try to take over the entire Marvel universe, and they end up getting saved by Blade, if I remember correctly.
Blade is the only one who remembers that reality is wrong.
Great series.
Really good. And it's got Blade at the center.
And in this series, Hyperion is a Superman-based character who is a villain who tries to take over not only his own world, but all of the Marvel universe.
Do you remember what his secret identity is?
No.
He's a teacher.
Just like we are. We're teachers, too. We're Superman. And we're the hardest working guys on YouTube.
Oh, yeah. Number
7.
Gladiator, another Marvel copy of Superman. Gladiator is the strongest champion of the Shi'ar Empire. He's part of the Imperial Guard, sorry. He's an alien like Superman, has blue skin and a mohawk. I like blue skin
Not
aliens.
like Superman.
No. Superman should get a mohawk.
Superman should get a mohawk.
Gladiator's costume consists of the same colors as Superman. Blue, red, gold. His true name is Clark. Combination of Superman's secret identity, Clark Kent. Kal. Yeah. And Kryptonian name Kal-El. Gladiator was created by Chris Claremont and has appeared throughout the X-Men. The Shi'ar Empire is a big deal in the X-Men, yeah.
He's a Superman ripoff, even though he doesn't look like him. He's supposed to be Superman. What can we do? Number 6. Sentry, yet another Marvel comic character. Marvel obviously is obsessed with Superman, or they're fans, or they're fascinated. I don't know which one. Once, a drug addict named Robert Reynolds not to be confused with Ryan Reynolds.
No.
He took an experimental drug that gave him immense powers. He was afraid of these powers and initially decided to live in solitude, in the Fortress of Solitude. His life has been hard and he has had many issues throughout. He lost his wife. He fights with mental instability. This is another dark version of Superman. It's what if Superman didn't have the mental capacity that the Superman that we know and love has. Sentry is a very interesting character in the Marvel Universe.
Yep.
Often a hero, sometimes a villain, often flies off the handle. Number 5. Brian's going to love this one.
The Homelander. From The Boys. The Homelander is probably the darkest version of Superman you could imagine. He's very, very, very patriotic. Frighteningly so, actually. And also is very mentally unstable.
Very similar to Sentry.
Garth Ennis, the Irish writer, who I love his work, created the Homelander, who's the leader of the Seven, a Justice League type group in The Boys. He can fly. He has super strength. He uses that heat vision a lot.
Sure does.
And super speed. He doesn't have any weaknesses, though.
He doesn't.
There's no krypton.
No kryptonite.
Kryptonite for him.
No kryptonite for Homelander.
Makes him even scarier. I think his weakness, though, is his mental
He's
illness.
also mentally unstable.
Yeah.
I noticed how these top 5, was our 5th one, how a lot of them are not complete copies, they're darker copies.
Dark versions.
With some instabilities where Superman is very stable.
Well, think about how terrifying a dark version of Superman
It
would
is.
be. I mean, look at the Injustice series.
I think it's a great idea to have a dark version of Superman.
Yeah.
Number 4, Majestic. Flying into the Wildstorm universe, Majestic is from the alien planet Kira.
It's in Wildcats, right?
Yes. He possesses, it's Image Comics.
Yeah.
He possesses super strength, ice breath, super speed, invulnerability, and considers himself the protector of his adopted world, Earth. Very similar to the Man of Steel. Originally part of the Image Comics universe, Majestic is now DC Comics property. He can actually work alongside Superman.
Yep.
Number 3.
Oh, another one of my favorites, Apollo. He's from the Wildstorm universe. Is now part of the DC universe. Apollo's a member of the Wildstorm team, The Authority.
Justice League.
Great, great comic. He actually showed up in Stormwatch first. He has super strength, invulnerability, flight, and heat vision. He powers himself by the sun, just like the real Superman, and absorbs rays like a battery. He's fought alongside Superman in recent years, and he's one of the very few comic book characters out there who is openly gay.
He is one of the first ones.
In a relationship with the Batman clone.
Yes.
Midnighter.
They actually recently teamed up with Superman to fight on Warworld.
Yeah.
To free the people of Warworld, which is what's going on in the Superman comic right now.
Awesome.
It was a good series.
The Authority's a great series. Great.
Image Comics did some great things back when they were starting. Number 2. Icon. Another DC Comics character. He was made in the Superman archetype mold, right? Back in the early 90s, DC Comics started a comic book line called Milestone Media. It focused more on diverse comic book characters. A lot of the comic book characters were black or other ethnicities, so they wanted to strengthen their role in the comic industry. And they used writers and artists that were also minorities. It was a great line. They actually recently reintroduced the line, and it's going very strong. Static is the most popular of the characters from there.
Always was.
It's a great character. Icon was also one of the main characters. He's an alien who crash lands on Earth. He crash lands in like the 1920s, if I remember correctly. He has super strength. He was originally didn't really use his powers because he was like born to a slave family. There's a lot of interesting backstory for Icon. He has some of the same powers as Superman. He has flight, super strength, invulnerability. He has fought alongside Superman many times. Superman makes a guest appearance in one of the early Milestones crossover series. Icon's a great character. If you don't know him, I recommend checking out some of his earlier issues or some of the newer stuff that's coming out now. It's actually all in comic shops right now.
Right.
And the number 1 hero to be a knockoff of Superman,
You should take this one.
Shazam. Marvel. He is the only one to top Superman.
Yeah, he outsold him.
Outsold him. In the 1940s, Shazam was the biggest selling character, outshining Superman. And the reason why was because Superman's alter ego is Clark Kent, an adult who's a reporter. Shazam's alter ego is Billy Batson. He's a kid, and kids love that idea that they could become a superhero just by saying Shazam! He was the first superhero ever adapted into a film. Did you know that?
No, actually, I didn't know
Captain
that.
Marvel, who's now Shazam, was the first one to have his own. It wasn't a film; it was the cereal. It was a cereal.
Okay.
It was a Shazam cereal.
His cereal was before the Superman.
Yes, his cereal was before the Superman.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's cool.
Originally created by Fawcett Comics in 1939, that's just 2 years after Superman was created, DC Comics did not take kindly to this copycat. They sued Fawcett Comics, and over time, Fawcett Comics, they sued them over infringement, copyright infringement. Over time, Fawcett Comics went out of business. They just couldn't keep up with the big two, Marvel and DC. And DC ends up buying the rights to Shazam, but what happens is he can't be Captain Marvel anymore because during the time that he wasn't being used, Marvel Comics creates their own Captain Marvel, the one that we know now from the movies, and there was a male one first, now there's a female one.
Right.
So what they do is when DC buys the rights, they change the name to Shazam, they make him Shazam. They're not really allowed to use Captain Marvel in titles, and if you notice in the movies, they never mention Captain Marvel in the movies. They call him Shazam throughout the whole time. He had almost the same identical powers, Superman, super strength, super speed. He could fly. He was invulnerable. The colors were very similar to his costume, and that's why they got sued. But over time, he's turned out to be a great hero for DC, and he appears in DC Comics all the time, has fought alongside Superman for many, 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 many years.
And Alex Ross's drawing of him is
it's
the best.
It's fantastic. We'll show it right now. It is
the best version
a cover that he did of Shazam is one of the best creations of Shazam.
Every time I see that picture, I think that's exactly what he would look like.
It should be. It should definitely be a poster hanging on the wall.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
That's our top 10 Superman knockoffs. Thanks for watching. Everyone needs a little bit of Collector's Confessions in their life. As we like to say at the end of every one of our videos, besides subscribe because you won't want to miss any of our other top 10s, love what you collect.
Collect what you love.
We'll see you next time.
See you later.
Bam.